Welcome to Whispers and Confessions. There might be a twist waiting, so please make sure to watch until the end. Don't forget to subscribe and like. Let's begin right away.
I can still vividly recall that day. The moment a stranger's warm touch brushed my skin, my wife Emma's laugh echoed in my head, bright and sharp like a summer afternoon years ago. The thought that she might be with another man right now sparked pride and betrayal, sharp and raw in my chest. That was the raw, unfiltered reality of partner swapping. What started as a reckless search for excitement pulled us into an unexpected maze of emotions we never anticipated. This is my story, worn down by the grind of daily life in Cleveland's snowy haze, chasing a spark of lost passion through swapping, desperate to feel alive again, to rediscover the man I used to be. I'm 37, name's Ethan. Emma's 35, and we've been married 12 years, our life stitched together with routines and responsibilities. We've got two kids, Lily, a fifth grader with a sharp wit, and Jake, a third grader who lives for soccer drills. I'm a production line supervisor at an auto parts factory on Cleveland's west side, where the air smells of oil and metal. Every morning, opening those factory doors hits me with a wave of pressure, reports stacking up like unpaid bills, workers griping about overtime, the endless churn of quotas breathing down my neck. By the time I drag myself home, that stress kills any real talk with Emma, leaving us silent over dinner, fork-scraping plates. She works part-time as a cashier at the Walmart off Brook Park Road, always flashing a bright smile for customers. But sometimes I catch a shadow in her hazel eyes, like she's grieving the artist she dreamed of being back in college, her sketch pads now buried under laundry baskets. We weren't miserable, not by a long shot. Steady paychecks kept the lights on, the kids' giggles filled our split-level home, and Sundays we'd pile into the SUV for the West Side Market, dodging lake-effect flurries, cursing as the SUV's heater sputtered, to grab pierogies and fresh bread, our breath fogging in the cold. But those early days of our marriage, when we were broke as hell yet our hearts raced just locking eyes across a thrift store couch, where'd they slip away to? I can still see our first birthday party in that tiny Lakewood apartment, scraping together change for a lopsided grocery store cake, laughing till our sides ached as we lit mismatched candles. Now, the grind wears me down, like I'm just punching a clock, not living, a dull weight settling in my chest. Evenings, with the kids tucked in, the living room settles into a heavy quiet. I slump on the couch, cracking a Miller Lite, the NFL games roar drowning out my thoughts, while Emma scrolls Pinterest on her phone, her boards bursting with farmhouse decor dreams, shiplap walls and mason jar centerpieces. Our cluttered home of hand-me-downs and toys can't hope to match. Our talks stick to the mundane, chicken nuggets for Jake's lunch, or whose turn for dishes. I shoveled the driveway. Intimacy's a ghost. Once a month, maybe, in the dark, the same rhythm of Emma's soft breaths, no spark to light the way. Staring at my reflection in the bathroom mirror, stubble flecked with gray, I wonder, am I living or just coasting through a life I didn't plan? Scrolling Instagram late at night, seeing couples posing on tropical beaches or cozy ski lodges, I felt boxed in by the endless snow closing us in. The flicker of change came over beers at a dive bar with work buddies, the kind of place with sticky tables and Browns flags fading on the walls. My coworker Matt, a bit drunk, his voice slurring, blurted out, "Ethan, my wife and I swap with other couples." I laughed, thinking it was a bad joke, my beer halfway to my lips. But Matt's eyes were dead serious, glinting under the neon Budweiser sign. "It's like a match to your marriage, man, sets it ablaze." Those words clung to me, buzzing in my head as I drove home through slushy streets, wipers thumping. Skeptical but hooked, I cornered him the next day in the break room, the coffee machine hissing behind us. "What's it really like? How do you start?" He grinned, leaning back in a plastic chair. "If you're curious, I can hook you up with some folks. But the real question, will Emma bite?" Emma agreeing felt impossible. She blushed at crude jokes, raised on church potlucks and small-town values. But the pull of rediscovering passion, of tasting something forbidden to shake off the frost of routine, kept tugging at me like a hunger I couldn't name. That night, kids asleep, the house creaking in the winter wind, I took a deep breath, my palms sweaty. Hey, this might sound nuts. My voice cracked, and Emma glanced up from her phone, her ponytail loose after a long shift. What's going on? Trouble at work? Her tone was calm, curious, her eyes searching mine. You ever hear of couples swapping? Her brows lifted, but she surprised me, nodding slowly. Yeah, caught a Netflix doc about it. Why you into it? Flustered, I stammered. Matt brought it up. Said he's sick of the same old life. You ever feel stuck? She stared out the window, snowflakes catching the porch light, then opened up, her voice soft but raw. I'm drained, Ethan. Walmart shifts, ringing up diapers and dog food, then juggling the kids. I don't know when I last felt like me, not just mom or cashier. I gave up painting, but I crave something alive, not an affair. I missed the nights we stayed up, bleary-eyed, soothing Lily's cries together. Her eyes held a yearning I hadn't seen in years, and I saw her anew, the woman who once sketched sunsets by the lake. Remember that birthday cake we could barely afford, laughing over burnt candles? I said, my throat tight. She smiled, faint but warm. I miss those days, Ethan. Hesitant, I pushed forward. Should we explore it? Just talk. She nodded, biting her lip. It's terrifying, but I'm curious. Let's figure it out together. Matt connected us with another couple, and as the day crept closer, nerves and excitement tangled in my gut like a storm brewing. We arranged to meet at a steakhouse in downtown Cleveland, a private room tucked away. Matt's advice was to pick a spot we could bolt from if things got weird. Stepping inside, the smell of grilled meat and bourbon in the air, he whispered, "There they are." A couple waved from a corner table, their faces lit by soft candlelight. My pulse hammered in my ears, a steady drumbeat, but I gripped Emma's hand, her fingers cool in mine, and we walked over, my boots heavy on the hardwood floor. They were Ryan and Sophia. Ryan, 39, managed a Target in Parma, lean with smile lines etching his eyes, giving him a warm, lived-in vibe. He spoke straight, tossing out, "Yin's ready for another Cleveland winter beating," with a grin that put me at ease. Sophia, 36, a hairstylist at a Tremont salon, had dyed blonde hair and bold makeup, but her smile was soft, magnetic, pulling you in. Country tunes hummed faintly from her phone, a twang of steel guitar cutting through the chatter. "Matt's told us about you," Ryan said, breaking the ice, his voice steady, confident, like a guy used to running a tight ship. "First time's always a lot, right? Let's just chat, get a feel for it." He signaled for beers, the clink of bottles loosening the tension in my shoulders. Sipping cold brews, we eased into it, the room's dim glow softening the edges. "What are Lily and Jake like?" Sophia asked, leaning forward, her earrings catching the light. Emma smiled, her posture relaxing. "Lily's glued to her books, always sneaking a flashlight to read past bedtime. Jake's soccer-obsessed, scuffing every pair of shoes." Ryan chuckled, swirling his beer. "Our girl's all about dance class. Keeps nagging me to film her TikTok moves, drives me up the wall." We swapped stories, hauls from the West Side Market, binging true crime docs on Netflix, arguing over Browns versus Steelers for the playoffs. By the second beer, the air felt lighter, like we'd known them longer than an hour. Sophia leaned back, her voice warm but edged with something daring. "We've been married 9 years. Started this 2 years ago. It's like a jolt to your soul, shakes you awake." Her eyes gleamed, and I felt a pull, dangerous and alive. Emma ventured cautiously, her cheeks pink from the beer. "How did you guys start?" Sophia smiled, gentle but knowing. "Just go with the flow, you know? Like picking a song and letting it carry you." Her words landed like a shared secret, intimate in the candlelit haze. As more beers arrived, the talk grew bolder, the air charged. Ryan's glances at Emma lingered, His laugh at her quip about Walmart shoppers a bit too warm. You've got a vibe, Emma, real cool, he said, his eyes steady. She blushed, murmuring, thanks, her fingers twisting her napkin. My gaze drifted to Sophia's fitted blouse, the curve of her shoulders under the fabric. She caught me looking, leaning closer, her vanilla perfume wrapping around me, pulling me in like a tide. My blood surged, hands clenched under the table, the room's hum fading to a dull roar. Next Saturday work? Ryan tossed out, his eyes holding a mix of challenge and anticipation like a guy betting on a long shot. Emma and I locked eyes. Her faint nod was enough. Kids can stay with my mom, I said, my voice steadier than I felt. Sophia grinned, her teeth flashing. It's on. Driving home through Cleveland's icy streets, wipers slapping, Emma whispered, are we really doing this, Ethan? Her voice quivered, a mix of nerves and thrill. You okay with it? No pressure, I said, my knuckles white on the wheel. Staring out at the snow-dusted streetlights, she murmured, it's scary, but exciting. I want to try. Her words lit my pulse again, a flicker of something reckless and new. The week crawled by, each day heavier with anticipation, like waiting for a storm to break. Saturday at 6 p.m., I sat in our living room with Sophia, just the two of us, the house too quiet without the kids' chatter. Emma was with Ryan at a holiday in downtown. Lily and Jake were at my mother-in-law's, probably gorging on her oatmeal cookies. Sophia's presence filled every corner, electric and unnerving, her black slip dress clinging to her frame, makeup vivid, perfume a sweet, heady haze. Nervous? She asked, settling onto the couch, her smile teasing, eyes glinting like she knew a secret. Yeah, a bit, I admitted, rubbing my palms on my jeans. She laughed, a low, warm sound. Me too. Wine to take the edge off. I grabbed a bottle of Merlot from the kitchen, the glasses clinking as I poured, my hands unsteady. You're good with this, right? Talked it over with Emma, she asked, swirling her wine. We're both in, I said, meeting her gaze. She nodded, a flicker of relief in her eyes. We sipped, keeping it light at first. Ohio's brutal winters, her funniest salon client, who insisted on neon green highlights. Then she leaned forward. Got any pics of the kids? I pulled out my phone, flipping through shots from last summer's camping trip at Lake Erie, the kids splashing in the shallows. Lily's adorable. Look at that grin. You're a great dad, she said, her smile softening, genuine. Then she slid closer, her knee brushing mine. Our shoulders touched, her warmth sparking heat through me, a current I couldn't ignore. Emma's really special, isn't she? She whispered, her eyes soft but searching, like she was testing the waters. She's my everything, I said, my voice rough. Good. No stress then, she purred, closing the gap. Her lips met mine, and the room faded, just her and me, the living room's dim light casting soft shadows. Her lips were soft, her scent sweet, her exhales warming my skin, pulling me closer. Her hand grazed my neck, and Emma's giggle from our first date, a sticky July night by a campfire, echoed painfully, sharp against Sophia's touch. Shame flared, a hot coal in my chest, but Sophia's soft gasp sparked fire in my veins, burning through it, each breath a spark igniting my resolve. Her fingers worked my shirt buttons, each touch setting my chest ablaze, her nails grazing my skin. Bedroom, she breathed in my ear, her voice a velvet trap, low and urgent. I took her hand, leading her down the hall, my steps heavy. Bringing another woman into the space I shared with Emma twisted my gut, the wedding photo on the dresser staring back, but that wrongness fueled a fire I couldn't douse. Sophia's body was fuller than Emma's, her curves taut under the dim bedroom light, her skin shimmering like silk. In black lace lingerie, she smiled, shy but deliberate. Picked this out just for you, she murmured, her voice catching. Exploring her was like falling into a new world, every touch a discovery. Her waist yielded under my hands, her gasps a melody weaving through the quiet. Unlike Emma, Sophia didn't hold back. Her low moans, the quiver of her frame, Her nails clawing my back sent my senses reeling, drowning out the hum of the fridge downstairs. Her warmth enveloped me, soft and inviting, my name a desperate whisper on her lips, each syllable pulling me deeper. When our bodies merged, the thought, Emma's with Ryan right now, flashed like a warning, but Sophia's eyes, fierce yet pleading, locked me in, her gaze a tether. As we reached that peak, a surge hit me, raw and overwhelming, shaking me to my core. Her trembling coursed through every nerve, her breath hot against my neck, and I was lost in the rush. But even in that haze, Emma's voice whispered through, a regret, fleeting but sharp. Afterward, we shared an awkward smile, collapsing onto the rumpled sheets, the air heavy with her perfume. Her breathing slowed, and an emptiness settled over me, cold and sudden. Was this betraying Emma, or waking up a part of me I'd buried? Sophia chuckled, breaking the silence. I'm starving. Got anything to eat? We raided the fridge, digging into leftover chicken nuggets and mac and cheese, sitting at the kitchen table under the fluorescent light. Eating with a woman who wasn't Emma felt surreal, like a scene from someone else's life, but the satisfaction drowned out the regret, warm and fleeting. Late that night, Emma texted, "On my way home." Sophia gathered her things, slipping into her coat. "Gotta get ready," she said, pausing at the door. "That was amazing, Ethan. Really." Her smile lingered in my mind, soft but searing, as she stepped into the snowy night. When Emma walked in, an uneasy silence hung between us, thick as the winter chill seeping through the windows. "How was it?" I asked, my voice cautious, testing the air. "Just okay," she said shortly, but her eyes swirled with a tangle of emotions. Relief, maybe, or something heavier. That night, we lay in bed, not touching, the mattress and ocean between us. She pretended to sleep, her breaths uneven, betraying her. I stared at the ceiling, the furnace's hum filling the dark, my thoughts a jumble. A month later, we agreed to meet Ryan and Sophia once a month, a rhythm that felt both thrilling and unsteady. By the second and third meetups, the nerves faded, slipping into something almost routine, like a habit we didn't question. Then one gray afternoon, I ran into Sophia at the Starbucks on Detroit Avenue, her sipping a latte, country music twanging from her phone. "Ethan, hey," she smiled, waving me over. "Just grabbing a coffee," I said, sliding into the chair across from her, the smell of roasted beans sharp in the air. She hesitated, fidgeting with her cup, then let it spill. "With Ryan, I'm just background noise, Ethan. He hasn't touched me in months. He's glued to football while I'm just there." Her voice cracked, tears welling, her vulnerability raw. "But you see me. You really look at me, make me feel real." Her hand brushed mine, light but deliberate, and my stomach twisted, my breath catching in my throat. Her loneliness stabbed at me, a blade of empathy, but I wasn't the one to fix it. "Sophia, you'll be okay," I said, pulling my hand back, my voice gentler than I meant. Her gaze rattled something loose inside me, a crack in my resolve. The third meetup broke me open. After her shower, wrapped in just a towel, steam still clinging to her skin, Sophia leaned close, her breath warm. "Ethan, I'm falling for you," she whispered, her words a punch to my chest. My heart froze, time slowing. "Ryan ignores me. He doesn't see me anymore. You listen, you care. I don't think I love him." Her eyes burned with raw honesty, desperation, a plea I couldn't unhear. I felt for her, her pain echoing my own moments of invisibility at the factory. But accepting her feelings meant risking Emma, the kids, my whole world. Fear surged, cold and sharp. That night, she held me like a lover, guiding my hand to her racing heart, its beat wild under my palm. "Feel this, Ethan. It's you," she murmured, her gaze a wildfire, bold and consuming. Her skin sparked under my touch, each curve a map I couldn't stop tracing. Emma's laugh from our first lake picnic, her hair catching the sun, haunting me, flickering in the shadows. But Sophia's gasps burned through regret, her moans unraveling my reason, our sweat-soaked passion swallowing me whole, a tide I couldn't fight. The next day at the factory, I stared blankly at the conveyor belt, Sophia's words and touch looping endlessly, her breath still hot in my memory. I miscounted parts, fumbled reports, feeling like a cog in a machine that didn't care. At home, things weren't much different. Emma and I were roommates, not lovers, our connection fraying under bills and snow-shoveling arguments. Sophia's attention made me feel seen, not just the guy signing off on shift schedules, but a man alive with want. Then I noticed Emma changing. She started buying new clothes, hitting the nail salon, putting effort into her looks like she hadn't in years. One night, I caught her staring at her old sketch pad, untouched for a decade, muttering, "Why am I even doing this?" Tears streaked her face, her hands trembling. "Ethan, how do I look?" she asked, her eyes flickering with unease, searching for something I couldn't name. "Gorgeous," I said, but suspicion coiled in my chest, a quiet venom. Sophia's texts came more often, small sparks in my day. "What are you up to?" "Ryan's boring, rather talk to you." She'd started lingering after meetups, her hand brushing my arm, her eyes pleading for something beyond our agreement. Then one day, a bombshell. "Kids are gone this weekend. Hotel, just us." My stomach dropped, the words glaring on my screen. "Sophia, that's outside our deal." I texted back, my fingers shaking. She called, her voice trembling, raw with need. "Ethan, I can't do this without you. Just once, please. I need you." Her plea stirred every desire in me, her words a siren's call, but Lily and Jake's laughter rang in my head, their crayon drawings taped to the fridge grounding me. "Sophia, you're incredible, but I'd hate myself if I hurt Emma. She's my center," I said, my voice firm despite the ache. My hands shook as I hung up, the silence deafening. Her final text, "Guess I leaned on you too much," landed like a burning ember, searing my resolve. One frigid weekend, I spotted Ryan's car in the Target parking lot off Steelyard Drive, snow dusting the windshield. Emma sat in the passenger seat, laughing as they talked, her face bright in a way I hadn't seen in months. Ryan said, "Talking with you feels so easy," his voice warm, and her easy smile sparked pride and betrayal, sharp and raw. I hid in my truck, engine idling, wanting to storm over and demand answers. But my feet stayed glued, fear choking my courage. At home, I lingered in the kitchen, stirring leftover chili, her laugh with him replaying like a bad song. "Where were you today?" I mumbled, stirring leftover chili. "Just shopping." She dodged, her eyes dodging mine, her hands busy folding laundry. That night, she suddenly hugged me, her arms tight, whispering, "I want to be better for you, Ethan." Her voice trembled with hidden guilt, but I didn't press, too tangled in my own. 8 months into this chaos, things were spiraling, a storm I couldn't outrun. Sophia's texts kept coming, her pull a tide against my fear of losing Emma. One morning, while Emma showered, her phone buzzed on the counter. Ryan's message flashed. "Last night was special. Next time, when the kids are away." It cut like a blade, sharp and cold. What was special? Were they meeting behind my back? But I'd crossed lines with Sophia. Did I have any right to judge, my own hands stained? The next weekend, the four of us met at the steakhouse, the air thick with unspoken truths, the clatter of plates a tense backdrop. Ryan's stare was sharp, cutting through the dim light. Sophia fidgeted with her beer glass, her eyes darting to Emma, wary and searching. Over dinner, Ryan blindsided me, his voice low but pointed. "Ethan, be real. You fell for Sophia, didn't you?" I stammered, beer bottle sweating in my hand. "What? No way." He gave a bitter smirk, his eyes distant. "I felt that way about Emma. Her ease, her laugh. It was a break from Sophia's intensity. But Sophia's my rock, keeps me grounded." His words hit hard, a mirror to our shared tangle. That night, in our bedroom, Sophia broke down, her voice cracking, glass trembling in her hand. "Ryan's obsessed with Emma. He doesn't see me anymore." Her pain shocked me, and Emma's allure sparked both pride and fury in my chest. Are we okay with this? Do you really love Emma? She asked, her eyes searching mine, raw and unguarded. I thought of our wedding, the kids' births, drives in our beat-up Civic, those early apartment nights scraping by but happy. Yes, I love Emma. This is wrong, I said, my voice steady. She smiled sadly, tears catching the lamplight. I know. Your eyes always follow her. We didn't touch that night, just talked. The weight of our choices heavy between us. Sophia admitted she wanted to fix things with Ryan. I was stupid. I knew he loved me, but I leaned on you, Ethan. Her honesty stung, and I admired her courage, a strength I wasn't sure I had. The next morning, as she left, she kissed me softly, her lips warm but final. Thanks for memories I'll never forget, she said, her voice breaking. A lonely ache settled in my chest as her car pulled away, snow crunching under the tires. Emma came home that evening, her face set with resolve, her coat dusted with snow. Ethan, we need to stop this, she said, her voice firm but trembling. Relief washed over me, cool and clear. I was thinking the same. Tears welled in her eyes as she confessed, her words spilling fast. It started for the thrill, Ethan. Ryan made me feel seen, like I was more than a mom or a cashier. His texts were a lifeline. He didn't know me like you did, holding me through Lily's colic nights. I missed you more, your quiet strength through every late-night diaper change, every fight we weathered. I can't imagine life without you. Her voice shook, and I pulled her close, her warmth grounding me. Same here, Emma. Sophia shook me up, made me feel alive, but it's always been you. I was terrified we'd drift apart again. Our shared truth eased a burden I'd carried too long, the air lighter despite the storm outside. What about Ryan and Sophia? I asked, my voice low. Emma wiped her eyes. Sophia texted me. She wants us all to talk. The next day, we met at the steakhouse, the mood tense, the air sharp with nerves. Sophia spoke first, clutching her glass, her voice steady but eyes glistening. We talked. This ends here. Ryan nodded, his jaw tight. We wanted excitement, but it got too messy. Without Sophia, I'd be lost. She's my everything. Emma's voice broke as she grabbed my hand, her fingers trembling. Ethan, I owe you so much. Ryan helped me see myself again, but you're my center, always. I squeezed back, my throat tight. Let's start over, Emma. Sophia's voice softened, her fingers brushing her glass. Ryan and I grilled in the backyard last weekend, stayed up late, swapping stories like we did at Kent State, laughed like when we first met. Ryan gave Emma a soft smile, warm but final, a door closing. We shared shy grins, realizing this wild ride had taught us what really mattered. Our family's the anchor we'd nearly lost. Ryan raised his beer, his voice rough but warm. One last toast, to great memories, and protecting our families. The clink of glasses rang clear, a note of closure. Sophia grinned, her eyes brighter. Ryan and I are starting fresh. It's like we're dating again, rediscovering each other. Ryan added, Sophia's the spark in my life, always has been. Emma squeezed my hand, her voice soft. I want to talk more with you, Ethan, find what we lost. I nodded, my chest full. Me too, Emma. A new start, together. 6 months later, Emma and I are closer than ever, our bond rebuilt brick by brick. Every Friday, we leave the kids with my mother-in-law and steal away to a lakeside B&B, feeling like newlyweds, the lake's quiet lapping our soundtrack. We started weekly coffee dates, no kids, just us, rebuilding over steaming mugs at a diner off Lorraine Avenue, talking about dreams we'd shelved. Emma sketching, my old hope of coaching Jake's team. One evening, we walked to an old bridge by the lake, the sunset painting the Cuyahoga's slow current gold. Emma teared up, her voice catching. Remember how happy we were, even when we had nothing? That first Walmart paycheck, splitting a chicken sandwich at Mickey's. You smiled like you'd won the lottery. I held her tight, the wind cool against us. I can still see your smile, clear as that day, Emma. Let's get that back. I'm scared we'll slip away again. She gripped my hand, her eyes fierce. No way we're letting go now, Ethan. We'll do this together. Ryan and Sophia are just folks we wave to at the store now, their smiles warm, their kids giggling at the amusement park last we saw. They patched things up, looking solid, their laughter echoing as they pushed swings. Looking back, swapping taught us a brutal lesson. Chasing thrills with others made us see our partner's true worth, a treasure we'd let gather dust. Sometimes Sophia's scent drifts through my mind, her whispers a faint echo, but I let it fade. Choosing Emma, building a future stronger than fleeting thrills. One weekend, sprawled on the couch, the kids' toys scattered, Emma asked, "What are you thinking?" I smiled, pulling her close. "Just our journey, all of it." She nestled into me, her breath soft. "Any regrets?" "None," I said, my voice steady. "It brought us right here." She squeezed my hand, whispering, "Me too." We sought sparks elsewhere, but found a real fire in our love, tempered by the long road. That's the deepest truth we learned, carved into us by every step.